The story of Edinburgh's time ball. 1805. The Battle of Trafalgar saw the British Royal Navy defeat the French and Spanish navies in the sea off the coast of Spain. Admiral Lord Nelson led the British and ensured their victory. That night, however, he died of injuries gained in battle. The same year, the people of Edinburgh met and agreed to finance a monument to express their gratitude to Lord Nelson. 1815. Nelson's monument was completed, commanding views all across Edinburgh. 1818. Captain Robert N. Wauchop of Niddry, Edinburgh, developed the concept of a time ball which would drop at a specific time each day. Wauchop realised that since light travels faster than sound, a visual signal of time to ships offshore would be more accurate than the sound of a clock striking. 1829. The first time ball was erected at Portsmouth, and soon after that there were time balls in most major ports in the maritime world.
To enable ships to navigate successfully, sailors had to establish longitude, and the way to do that is through time. They really required to have an accurate time on board, which is why the time ball was invented, to enable sailors to set their chronometers, their timepieces, accurately so that they could navigate properly.
1846. Professor Charles Piazzi Smythe took up the post of Astronomer Royal for Scotland. He joined a campaign to have a time ball erected on top of the Nelson Monument, as he had operated a time ball in South Africa and could see the advantage of installing such a device on Carlton Hill for the benefit of ships in the Firth of Forth and docked in Leith Harbour. 1852. His recommendation was followed, and the time ball you see today was erected on top of the Nelson Monument. 1861. The 1 o'clock gun was installed in the castle.
The gun was set up in the castle as an audible signal. Originally, on foggy days, you couldn't see the time ball, so they needed an audible signal as well. They decided at first they'd set up in the Carlton Hill, but that would have upset the instruments in the observatory, so they set up in the battlements. There's been, if you go by the pattern of the gun, there's been about half a dozen. They've been mounted in different carriages. It's a 105 light gun that's used now. It actually fires 4 ounces of gunpowder just now in a metal shell. When it originally was set up, it fired about 8 pounds, I believe, so it was heard over a very large area. The gun fires daily. It's fired every day from 1 o'clock, at 1 o'clock from 1861. It doesn't fire in public holidays, Christmas and New Year.
To ensure the ball was completely accurate, when the gun was installed, there was a wire which connected the ball to the gun, which carried an electrical signal. 1873. The route was replaced by one which took the wire past the old post office. 1896. The wire was replaced by a system of underground cables which linked the clocks involved in the Edinburgh time circuit.
The time ball is made from wooden. It has an internal wooden armature and is covered with zinc plate. The ball is connected by a long length of purple heart wood, which is the central core of the monument. As it's wound up, the ratchet that the time ball is hoisted upon is attached to purple heart wood.
The time ball is maintained every day by clockwinder John Peat.
Well, we go up at 10 to 1. The tap is to drain the rainwater which gathers inside the steel pipe, and we take it to such a level that when the ball drops, it cushions the ball from going too hard. Well, it's operating in 3 different stages. We do 25 turns of the cog. It takes it halfway up, and that alerts the sailors on board the ship to stand by their chronometers, ready to set them. Then we do another 25 turns, and then 3.5 turns takes the time ball right to the top. We then lock it with a locking lever and disengage the cogwheel, and it's ready to drop. The signal to drop the 1 o'clock ball is you have to go and watch for the smoke from the 1 o'clock gun at the castle. When I see the smoke, I'll pull the lever, disengage the locking mechanism. And that's it. Every day except a Sunday.